And we're live. Hello.
No.
Welcome to Megan and Kelly show.
This is gonna get the closest. This is like our podcast vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
How much space can
Welcome.
we fill?
Yes, it's craft night. The numbers just dropped.
Oh wow!
I'm going to take that personally. Anyway,
Absolutely.
welcome to craft night. We're crafting
The Kelly, Megan,
and
and whichever one of you is still
and
here
whichever
show.
one of you didn't drop off as soon as you saw it was just us. Say hey in the discussion section. Otherwise, we're just gonna chat it up. We're doing craft night. I'm working on heart granny squares. I have a lot of them, but still somehow nowhere near enough. What are you working on tonight, Kelly?
I have dug up a project that I've been meaning to finish for about 8 months. Eventually, it will be a robot that was going to be a "yay, you were born" gift to a baby who is now about 8 months. No, she's like 10 months. Yeah. So
They'll be able to appreciate it more now.
yes, absolutely. Now we've got Andrew and Crazy Foxy.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, I think Mother's Day is a big part of
For
what happened
sure.
here.
Yeah. We might have Des later. We'll see if they're able to make it. They're doing a Mother's Day zoo trip.
I'm thinking no. I'm thinking that last minute Hail Mary was I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. Nicole's here, said, hi, everyone. I'm going to try to figure out how to design a color work pattern for a knitting pattern. I didn't know you knit.
Learning fun new facts. That'll be what we do tonight.
Yes. Yeah, so far been a pretty decent Mother's Day for me as the currently live mother of the two of us. Just a lot of chilling, which is all I really want to do. Like, everyone's always like, do you want to go out? Do you want to do something? Do you want to have friends over? And it's like, no, I want to sit and I want to just make the rounds, do each of my hobbies one at a time. So this morning I got to go do a little coffee shop writing morning. Then I played Stardew Valley for a few hours, and now I'm crocheting.
Very nice.
Cole said, knitting is new. I've made hats before, but that's about it. Nice.
I technically knit hats on like a knitting loom, which I like because you don't have to actually knit things, but the effect is still knitting.
I cannot figure out knitting. I think it's because I'm left-handed, maybe. Like, I can't even find tutorials that I could maybe figure it out from. So if anyone ever finds a really solid left-handed knitting tutorial, let me know. Otherwise, I'm trying to befriend my coworker who told me that she is really, really, really good at knitting and is left-handed. So, but she just started, so I feel like we got to level up our friendship a bit before I can ask her to teach me. Plus, I've just figured out the crochet. So there's still so many things I want to try.
I always felt like crochet is more versatile, but knitting probably looks a little nicer.
Yeah.
They're doing two things now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The sweaters always look so beautiful, but it's also like I live in Florida.
Yeah.
How many sweaters can I really use? But I was curious, Kelly, have you picked up any new hobbies so far this year? Have you tried anything new?
I hope not, because on my it wasn't really like I don't think it's on my bingo card, but like no new hobbies was like one of my it was on my like no buy list. I was trying to like cut down random spending for the first indeterminate amount of the year. And like one of the things was like no new hobbies. So
Yeah, this was it for me, and it did come with a big yarn overhead. I had to cut myself off.
But now you have so much beautiful yarn.
I have so much beautiful yarn.
Once you finish your 2 ongoing projects, where are you currently leaning towards next?
I want to make a little crochet plant, and I don't think that will take me very long to make. I think that'll probably be like a day or a week-long project. But I think that would be fun. I want to make, there's a granny square vest pattern that I really like. That's the daisy granny squares. And I also don't think that will take me too long. A lot of smaller things for a bit.
I feel like way too many people, like myself included, you get into crochet and you're just like, blanket, absolutely.
You think blanket,
you took it,
yeah.
Yeah. You took it further of like, you went with some very complicated. Well, I guess now that you're like in it, the like granny, like, yeah.
Yeah, the granny square really isn't that hard. And I do feel like it's really good practice for like making my stitches even and getting really familiar with what are the names of all the stitches.
How many different stitches to like between that and the flower? How many are you actually like doing regularly?
The hearts use single crochets, double crochets, half double crochets, and triple crochets. And then I don't know what the stitch is called that you do for the puff flowers, where you just like thread it and pull it a bunch of times. But that one's actually like very straightforward. Yeah, the hardest part for the flowers was just learning the magic circle or the magic ring or whatever it's called, because I didn't know that before.
Yeah. So I don't know where I left. I really hope I finished all the squares and I just needed to put it together, because I don't even know what size hook I was using. It's been a while.
I've been eyeing some like tapestry patterns on Etsy. But I need to get something to help me count the stitches if I'm ever going to do any of those. Because these, it's so straightforward that it's like, once I'm really familiar, I can just tell by sight if I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
But with a million stitches, there's no way I could. Cole said I saw a poppy granny square and thought it was so cute. I saw a sun square that I really liked too. I've gotten so into just window shopping patterns on Etsy. I have so many saved. It's out of control. But I found this one tapestry that it's 4 tapestries that I think I could make into a gigantic blanket, but it would be like a 2-year-long project. But it would be for my mom. It's the tapestries from the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World. So like the lady sitting on the barrel and like the tightrope dancer and stuff with the crocodiles underneath. So that'll maybe be a next year project if I get to the end of this year and feel competent enough.
I think you've more than proven yourself capable of pretty much anything.
I do feel like I could figure it out at a minimum.
Random topic change. I think I put in post chat last week. We talked about your partner using the TV when you want to be watching The Last of Us. How are those sports going?
So my husband is a very big Warriors fan. He's from California. So it's not a great time to be a basketball fan for the Warriors. but they are still in the finals. Fortunately and unfortunately for me, because The Last of Us is on Sundays, but they don't have a game tonight. So
see, the Toronto Maple Leafs do, because they are doing better than they have, depending on how you like calculate it. Either the last time they'd gotten this far in the playoffs and were doing this well, either my husband was one, or if you like do it differently, then my mother was one. If like they have not done this well in a very, very long time.
Wow.
So they will still be playing tonight when The Last of Us is on.
All that Canadian patriotism. Like, we're going to be good this year.
It's the year to do it.
Yeah. I'm a Warriors fan, so I got no problem with Draymond Green. Crazy Foxy, not Draymond's biggest fan.
I don't know who that is or what he's done, but
he's a very aggressive player. Very good, but very aware of how good he is and how to be so good.
That's the worst.
Unless he's on your side, then it's like, I don't know, man. You do you. But yeah, the last couple of weeks, there's been a basketball game. And at the time, I was like, well, we probably won't even make it to the second round. So you take the TV, and I will either stay up later to watch The Last of Us, or I'll watch it in my office. But this week, I was like, even if there is, I need to watch it on the TV.
The thing about the Maple Leafs is, as soon as you think they might actually do well, they'll throw. Like literally, Florida just scored as we were talking about this. So.
Oh, they're playing a Florida team?
Yep, Florida Panthers.
Panthers? Okay.
Yeah. So they're up 2-1 in the series. The Leafs are up.
Oh, okay. I don't know the Panthers as well. My family were big Lightning fans.
Panthers are a newer thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
Like sometime recently, someone went, you know who could use a second hockey team? This
Florida.
very, very warm place.
Yeah.
So somewhere around the same time they went, Las Vegas. Also, yes. Hockey,
also, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, my dad was from Buffalo, New York, or near Buffalo, New York. So he was always a big Sabres fan.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Or just hasn't. It's possible it just hasn't come up in like half a decade at this point. And I've forgotten.
Yeah, he was born and raised in upstate New York, living his Noah Kahn life.
Gotta love that stick season. Unless you're Noah Kahn, who makes it pretty clear he doesn't really enjoy stick season.
I'm so excited for his new music.
I know. I keep getting like snippets of stuff, and I don't want to hear snippets of like.
I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Crazy Foxy had a question for you, Kelly. Which is more important to you, hockey, curling, or something else?
None of these things would actually be classified as important to me. I fell down on a grade 2 field trip while going curling and bonked my head on the ice. I have not given it much thought since then. Like, I don't know. Me in sports is very much like, I like the Olympics because then the people are all actually from that place. Otherwise, like, I don't know. How many of the Florida Panthers are actually Canadian right now? Probably a few.
At least a few, yeah.
So, my brother-in-law gets like very invested in Toronto sports, and it just makes me feel stressed. So I would be so thrilled for him if they won the Stanley Cup. But the amount of stress I'm going to have to feel about something I don't actually care about in the meantime is too much.
That's actually one of my dad's big like stories that he and my mom would tell growing up, is about the time that they got to touch the Stanley Cup. Because it was in town and they realized it was the Stanley Cup. And so they ran up and touched it really fast and then looked back and realized that there was a massive line of people waiting to touch it. And so they ran away.
Adorable.
I really like watching sports, but I get stressed out not knowing how it's going to end. And I don't like how sad people look when they lose. So I like to watch just like the last, whatever the time period is, the last quarter, the last inning.
Yeah, my brain takes like rooting for the underdog too far. Like once you've lost, you really are the underdog, and I'm a little sad for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you also really wanted to win.
Yeah, that's the thing that drives me crazy, is all the commentators and stuff. They're like, this team just wanted it more. And it's like, no, they didn't. They really didn't.
Yeah, my husband in the car the other day was like talking about hockey and like which teams really wanted it. And so which teams, like I actually asked him, like, so which teams aren't playing like they really want to win the Stanley Cup? Like, should they just go home or?
Yeah. That's so much effort for something you don't really want.
Yeah. And how much are they being paid to not actually care whether or not they win the Stanley Cup? Too much.
Yeah. I'm about to hit 10K on my ghost baking book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized you were. I don't even think I knew you'd started writing it. That's amazing.
Yep, I'm doing it. So.
Having a good time with it so far?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I had a little bit that I was able to salvage from the first time I tried writing it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still just getting a lot of crickets back on my vampire one. Not like bad. Like I usually get some requests when I send something out, but it's still just a lot of waiting. Kyra's agents hated our revisions.
Really? I saw that she was planning 2 book funerals.
So that was like,
Well,
obviously you don't want anyone to hate it, but
I know. How did they like? Maybe I can ask you in post chat instead. But like, how did they phrase that they hated it? Like that's so. You put in so much work.
Yeah, it was very nice. I have some thoughts on some of the things that were said that I might disagree with. But I also just, yeah, it was hard to revise it again. We've been working on it for so long that part of me, when they were like, yeah, we like really didn't, they didn't say it like that. But the sentiment was that they hated it. And so for me, it was almost like and you know what? Now I can breathe because I don't have to work on that ever again. So.
That's rough though. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
If it helps, I'm sure they were wrong. Whatever their opinion was,
yeah, totally.
They were wrong.
I'm sure they had some fair assessments as well, but I think it was just so like, we've been working on it forever. It's hard to even look at it straight anymore.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Oh, Des is here. He said, I'm stuck in traffic and everyone is crocheting. I'm going to cry.
I hope Hopefully you had a very nice time at the zoo.
Yes. They also said, I wasn't into watching sports until I met my husband, but now we watch everything. F1, baseball, and basketball are on all the time. Yes, the Warriors are playing your husband's team right now, I believe, if I recall correctly. And we're losing to them a lot. So I'm glad your husband is having a good week. Hi, Misty Kate. She said, hello, all. Sorry I can't join. Celebrating Mother's Day at the moment. Thanks for popping in. I always appreciate you popping in.
Maybe next year we start hiatus on Mother's Day, whenever that falls. I feel like
Yeah, that would have been really smart, but
I'm always around, so it's never makes a difference to me.
It's hard to fathom because I
don't know. And some of it's also like our time zone of like, I don't know, dinner's always done for us, and
yeah.
Yeah, it's where like if you move back to the West Coast and aren't in my time zone.
Yeah. I would love to move back to the West Coast if homes would stop being $750 gajillion. I can't complain too much though. I do live in a very small blue pocket in Florida. And my childhood best friend lives very close to me.
You can still complain. It's still
I can complain a little. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
There can be goods and bads.
Yes. Jeez, Crazy Foxy said the house next to me sold last year for $6.5 million. LA is not cheap.
Oof.
Yeah, we used to live in San Diego, and just every year since we've moved back out to Florida, it's been like just watching the houses, being like, wow, we should not have left. Des recommended me these Susan Bates hooks that they detach. Yeah. And it came with this little piece on the end that you can put that you can cut the yarn with. It's amazing. Oh. So you just like hold it up and like pull and it slices it. It's awesome. It's not great for like getting the neatest cut ever, but it's perfect for when I just want to like, let me just throw that aside because I'm done now.
I need to focus less. I've been putting off this project for so long, and now I'm actually like making progress, but you're the only other person here chatting, so I need to actually stop paying attention to what I'm doing.
No, Boynton Beach is quite far from me. Boynton Beach is like all the way down almost to Miami, and I'm up in North Florida. So quite far. I always want to go travel down there. We've got a lot of family down in that area, but it is a big drive, especially with a young child.
I can't imagine. My sister wanted to take her kids somewhere that was 8 hours away last summer. I was like, this is a terrible idea. Do not do this. And she didn't.
I don't know how our parents did it without tablets. Yeah. At least now it's like, well, I don't feel great about having him look at a tablet for hours and hours, but it's nice to have it as an option when we have to be in the car forever.
Yeah, I took my nephew to the aquarium last year at one point, and like, so he's really used to like a 2-hour drive to his grandparents, and this was like probably 3. And by the 2.5-hour mark, he was crawling out of his seat. Like, take me home. I would rather just like go sit at grandma's house than spend another half hour in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andrew said the drive from South Florida out of the state is so long. Yeah. I lived in Georgia and my husband interviewed for a job in Miami while we were up there, and we drove down for the interview. It was awful. The whole way there, we were like, we can't do this. It's so far from everything.
Been reading it all lately, Megan? I feel like once you
not
start
as
writing,
much
you stop
this
reading.
month.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read as much this month. I started, what's that one? The like alien smut one. Des likes this author a lot. What's it called? Kimberly Lemming is the author. I'm trying to pull up the book title. I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com.
Ah, nice.
And that one's been really fun, but I can't listen to it at work because I get so scared someone will hear what I'm listening to. Oh, I am really excited. After this, I'm going to start Anna Marie McLemore's The Influencers. It's a murder mystery where a woman dies and the suspects are the 5 daughters who made her internet famous because she was like a family vlogger.
Oh.
It looks so good. What about you?
I finished whatever the second book. One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns, I think. Finished that today. That was pretty good. Yeah, I didn't like the second one as much as the first one, but it was a really solid like fantasy read of like hints of romantasy, but it really wasn't. Like I really thought I'd put it off for a while. Like, this is going to be more romancy than I'm feeling. But no.
That's what I thought from the marketing.
Yeah, I think it was just marketed that way.
Because
it was, like it was written like when this era of romantasy was kind of starting. But
I always get the titles of that one mixed up with the Kendara Blake series.
Yeah.
That one had like, I'm pretty sure the second one was like, one of them was crowns and then the second one was like 2 thrones or something. Yeah. Nicole has 4 hours left in the second Dungeon Crawler Carl book and Des is on book 6.
That is wonderful.
I do need to start the second one too. I already have it, but
I've started re-listening to book 1 a little bit. I'm so proud of all of you. Des says Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is harder to say than it needs to be, honestly, has altered my brain chemistry. It's like, yeah, because I saw a TikTok today of someone just being like, I haven't been this obsessed with a book series in so long. And I feel similarly. Like, I'm a little out of it because I ran out of books, so I kind of stopped. So I'm not thinking about it quite as obsessively right now, but like I still just like on the Dungeon Crawler Carl subreddit, there was someone being like, oh, okay, I want to read another book, but what about Dungeon Crawler Carl? No, I've already finished them. It's time to read another book, but I just want to read this one.
Rereading The September House has had me really eager to just revisit lots of books because I had such a good time doing that.
Yeah, definitely like trying to be like there. Even like last year, there's no universe where I would have let myself reread the same series in a year. Now I will definitely read the entire series twice this year for Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah,
no question. Because I know there's some like the world building is so big and there's so much going on, and like I'm not good at reading for detail when there's like fight scenes because I'm like, okay, please tell me who dies and then I can pay attention to.
Yeah.
So now that I know all that stuff, a whole new ball game. And like I think it's gonna feel like rereading Harry Potter books did once upon a time. I'm just like, I just enjoy being in this world with these characters.
Yeah, I want that really badly, but I feel like I need to like be in just the right headspace to fully binge them all. But I do want something big to fall into again.
Yeah. And like it's tricky with those ones of like, how much money do you want to invest in Audible credits right now?
Yeah. The second one went on sale while I was reading the first one.
Oh, nice.
So I got the second one just for $6. So I'm kind of hopeful that that will just keep happening, yeah. Which I know is a bit too optimistic, but
birthday season is coming. I'm hoping to also be the owner of at least one of the hardcovers by the end of the month.
Nice. Man, I can't believe it's been a year. We were all like about to be hanging out this time last year.
Wow. Like a year since what? Since our birthdays? Yep, that normally happens.
Yeah. You were here for our birthdays.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
Des says if you have KU, you can get them cheaper, which I think I had seen of like, if you're paying for a KU, it'll let you buy the audiobooks cheap.
Okay. Yes, Des, we need another trip.
It's got to be Canada this time. Sorry, your country's out of bounds for a little while.
I'm getting my passport right now, so. I want to see your new house.
It's a pretty good house.
Slash, I haven't seen you since you lived much closer to Toronto, so I haven't seen your city at all.
I can show you my new house and my last house.
Yeah.
I hope you come when it's warm so I can give your husband Canada's best foot forward.
Yes. Just be like, see, it's not so bad. It doesn't snow here or anything.
I still, deep down, I think he'd like the snow. I don't know.
We've just always lived in snowy places when we had negative money. And snow is different when you can afford good shoes.
For sure. 100%. Like, I don't enjoy the snow sports, but I feel like he would enjoy the snow sports.
Yeah. He's all into surfing and stuff.
Snowboarding feels very similar.
But without the ocean, so I'm more interested. I love looking at the ocean. But I don't need to be in it like that.
Absolutely fair.
Nicole said, remember how I told you my library went from 50 holds to 20? This week I remembered I can have a library card for the city library. So I'm back up to 50 holds.
Excellent.
So I'll be able to wreck all the books I can again.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Just as we're on the Canada topic, so our election was a few weeks ago now. And kind of similarly to like our system is different. So I'm trying to like give some context before I explain what happened. So like there's essentially like congressional seats, and then whoever gets the most congressional seats, their leader becomes the prime minister. So it was very close, but they actually just announced that there's more to explain about how the Canadian system works that I don't think is important. Basically, one of the seats got recounted yesterday, and it came down to one vote.
Whoa.
So we have get out the vote propaganda for the next century. Like, you don't think your vote counts?
Well, it did for one of you last time.
Because we'd already had, like, there was two. One was it within like 46 votes, and one was within like 30. And then this one got recounted and was literally one vote.
Whoa.
I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
In response to American politics, we did have like pretty high voter turnout for us, and like, and
yeah,
every vote kind of counted.
Australia too.
I think voting might be mandatory in Australia.
Is it?
I've also heard something about that. Then you get a hot dog, but I don't know if that's true.
That feels like something that should be happening in America.
Right.
You vote and then you get a hot dog.
I feel like you were going to say something.
Oh, Andrew said, I keep telling my mom that we're going to have to start taking trips to Toronto to buy things. On the other hand, I will finally have a chance to visit Canada.
I'm really just inventing this project as I go. Like, as I'm trying to put these squares together to make little robot cubes. Like, I don't actually know what the official method for joining these kind of things together is, but this is working.
I think as long as it works, it can't be wrong.
Yeah. Unless somehow the baby manages to dismantle this and swallows some yarn or something.
Maybe it's a baby genius, though. You can't know that was a your stitch problem.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, I'm very nervous for when I have to start binding all of these together because I haven't picked how I want to do it yet.
Yeah. I'm a little afraid of that part for you, but I know you'll do it. It's just...
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would have given up on just creating as many of those as you have a little bit before anyway. So, like, taking a break for another and I know this is your like break from one project, other projects.
Yeah.
But I'd have started a third project by now.
It's just weirdly soothing that it's like, I know this one thing and I can do it, and I can do it well now. I'll just sit down and do it.
I do think it's like once you like get good at like a single crochet plant leaf, like you can do a lot of things with that and like quickly.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, and I've looked at a lot of them are like this. They're like upside down hearts.
Yeah.
Basically. So I feel like it won't be too hard to pick them up.
Although hearing how many different stitches go into that heart
it's very like you just have to know half of it, and then the other half is the same thing backwards.
Yeah, fair.
And it's very like, oh, you do the triples and then you do a double, and then like the next stitch always matches the stitch that came before it, and you just like work your way down and then back up.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's double half, 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 half single.
Nicole asks, what new releases is everyone looking forward to? 2 books I'm excited for are Kill Creatures, Rory Power, and Out of Air by Rachel Rice.
Let me pull up my Fable.
I feel like I found a bunch on NetGalley last week in post chat. I was like, oh, these sound great.
Oh yeah, the Violet Thistleweight is not a villain anymore.
Yeah.
I recommended that one last week, and I'm excited for that.
I actually got approved for that We Live Here Now one that I'd found, but its categories are general fiction and mystery and thriller. So I feel like it's a mistake.
Doesn't sound so paranormal.
Des mentioned being super pumped for a memoir from someone from Dance Moms, whose last name I probably can't pronounce. I don't read a ton of memoirs.
I used to read a lot of them, but I don't read as many now.
I did actually this week. I Survived Capitalism, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt by Madeline Pendleton, who was someone I followed on TikTok. And basically she started like a fashion empire, but is very like punk and like pays everyone in her company the same rate she makes. And
oh, interesting.
She's just all about, people being able to afford to live and that kind of stuff, which I found very admirable.
It's compelling. Yeah. I just started watching that Netflix show that has like Steve Carell in it, the one about the like college friends who.
It doesn't sound like something I'd watch based on this very limited information, but
I saw a clip of it that looked funny, so I decided to give it a try. I can't remember what it's called now. Hang on, I'm pulling it up. The Four Seasons.
Okay.
It's been pretty. I've only watched 2 episodes. What were you going to say?
So far, is it so far, in fact, funny?
Yeah, pretty funny so far. It's Steve Carell, Coleman Domingo, Tina Fey, and what's that other guy's name? He's an extra in so many things. Will Forte, or not an extra, like a side character in so many things, but he's a main character in this one. Yeah, it's been really not as funny as I would want it to be, but funny enough that I'm going to keep watching it for a few more episodes.
I saw Thunderbolts yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
It had the people at Marvel understood that I wanted Florence Pugh to be the main character, and that is what they did.
Yes, finally. That's all we're asking for. Is that too much? Right. I still haven't gone to see Sinners yet, but I'm desperate to go see it. I'm so excited for it.
The more I hear about it, the more convinced I am that I just need to like stop worrying about it and just go see it. And if I get a little bit jump scared, I'll probably survive. Right? Like that was my like, I should just
see it. Yeah. I took off work for my birthday, so I'll probably go see it then.
Oh, nice. I also took off work for my birthday, but I think we're going to take the kids to the zoo.
See, I took off the 2 days, so birthday and the day before, and then I told my husband, you telework, because it's also the 1 week that kids are out of school before all the summer camps start up. So I told my husband, I was like, you have to telework on this day because I want to go to the movies for my birthday. And I can't take a child with me to the movies I want to go see.
Nor should you have to.
Nor should I have to.
I think we've still got a bit of time here before it's children are around all the time. My sister was very bad at actually booking anyone into camps. Well, because my niece isn't old enough for camps yet, but her daycare closes down at the end of the school year. So,
oh, yikes.
My nephew's not in camps, and my niece is not in daycare. I'm gonna figure it out.
Dang.
They are doing a week of rock climbing camp, which is basically I'll get paid to watch them for that week, so that'll be nice.
Hell yeah.
And like mostly, we never even advertised that camp. It was just like me and the owners of the gym asking kids that we know, and their kids are the same age as like my niece and nephew. So I know half of the kids that are going to be in that camp.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a good week. Or there'll be one terrible kid and it'll be a terrible week. Could really go that way.
Yeah. Andrew said, as a teacher, please take your kids. I am tired. Yeah. I owe my son's teacher so much. She has been amazing. I'm like a little devastated that he's going to have a new teacher next year because she's been so good. She deserves $1 million zillion for her salary. Oh, we are also jumping back to TV and stuff. Kelly and I watch TV together once a week with some of the other word nerds, and we've been watching The Residence, and it is really good. We're like 4 episodes in, 5 episodes in?
I think so. Yeah, and there's only 8 total, so we're like a good chunk.
Yeah. Every episode has been fantastic so far. And my mom also just finished watching it and loved it. And we don't always have the same overlap in TV tastes. So that's how you know it's really good.
Shonda Rhimes shows are usually pretty good for moms.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it.
Grey's Anatomy, Bridgerton.
That's true. My mom's like purist a lot of times about her historicals, so I think it took her a minute to warm up to Bridgerton.
Fair.
But I think she likes it now. I can't quite remember. I think she watches it now because she liked the one about Queen Charlotte a lot.
Yeah. I might actually go see the new Jurassic Park movie this summer just for Jonathan Bailey. I don't know. It looks more like I stopped watching those when it got so like. As soon as dinosaurs start like dying as part of the plot, I'm not that interested. I root for the dinosaurs. But I'm hoping Jonathan Bailey's character is more just like nerd who loves dinosaurs, and that's the energy I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And also, Kate's sister is in a movie coming up that I forget what her name was on Bridgerton. Follow her on TikTok though. But yeah, she's in, I think it's Fight or Flight with Josh Hartnett, which is like on an airplane action movie. And just the clip had, I don't know her real name or her character name in Bridgerton or her character name in this movie, but like she like jumps into the fight just as like a flight attendant and like does a terrible job. But it's just like, I was trying to help you. She's just trying to like, I don't know, terrorists are taking over the airplane. I don't even know the plot of the movie, but it looked fun.
Did you see that there was a Prime show that the Kate actress Simone Ashley was in?
Oh yeah,
it looked really cute, terrible. And I never watched it. Ah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I meant to as well for the exact like. Oh shit, and I might still like. It looked rom-commy and cute, and a couple people's opinion on the internet.
Sometimes people say a rom-com sucked when really they just don't like rom-coms.
Yeah, like my bar is pretty low. Was there rom? Was there com? I'm good.
That's all I want.
Usually the question is, was there com? Meh. But.
Yeah. I did, at Emma's recommendation, finally watch Twisters, and I had a great time with that.
She is confirmed on Fable. She is reading Midnight Sun. Hopefully once we're back from hiatus, we can drag some other word nerds back into the limelight and bug them about what they've been enjoying. Although I guess Emma made us a whole slideshow. She's doing great.
She did, yeah. She's killing it.
So Erin's got to make a slideshow.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. If I had to guess, the least slideshow prone of all of us is probably Erin. But I do want to know all the things she's been like doing.
Yeah. I should see if anyone's around at like while we're on hiatus, whatever time slot works for people.
Yeah. I'm always around, so.
I do sometimes underestimate how much, I don't know, I'm more around than the average person, but my brain doesn't compute that all the time. And I just can't do as much stuff as other people seem to do. I don't understand how they're doing so much stuff all the time.
It's surprising sometimes.
Now, just thinking about at the beginning when Nicole told us about the knitting, we're like, oh, surprise fun fact. So, Megan, off the top of your head, also anyone in the comments, what is a surprise fun fact about yourself that you don't think you've mentioned in 11 years of the Word Nerd? So just like,
oh my God.
Doesn't even have to be
interesting.
interesting.
To ask this. I say everything that pops into my head every time I'm online.
I don't know. I wish I could think of something for you of like,
yeah,
unexpected. Mostly I want to know from people in the comments of like, what would we not know about you that just wouldn't come up because it's not necessarily book related?
Oh, I'm really good at the flute. I'm probably less good than I used to be, but
define really good. It's like, how is that measured in the flute?
In high school, I was invited to go like study with this lady in Italy for a bit, but I didn't go to it. I was very good.
I mean, I guess technically for that story to be impressive, the lady in Italy also has to have been good at the flute. Living in Italy on its own was not quite.
She had a solid gold flute that she would bring with her to the United States, and I got to play it a couple times. She was friends with my lesson teacher.
That's very cool.
I was just always awestruck by her.
Nicole's fun fact is, okay, she also plays the flute, but she wasn't ever that good. Like, you're both very impressive at the flute.
I don't practice ever anymore, really, so I'm not as good as I once was, I'm sure. But I did really like it, and I almost studied it in college. So
that's very cool.
Yeah. Emma also played the flute and was very good at it. So that can be. Did you by chance play the flute, Kelly? Could it be everyone's fun fact?
The year I had to take an instrument, I took the flute. I did not
Hell
take it
year.
Mostly it seemed like the most convenient one to get back and forth from school, honestly.
Yeah, my mom found a flute at a pawn shop for, I think, like $50 or something, which was still quite a lot of money at the time. But I was in the 5th grade and she gave that to me, and that was my instrument for a long time. Andrew said most of my fun facts happened while I was watching this channel, honestly. Okay, but we don't know all of them, I bet. Especially for people who are in chat. Because you don't get like the stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Desperate to
I need to say something, so I guess
I guess I'll just reveal a secret. I used to be really awful about that when we were like first going live. I was like, there can't be any silence. And now it's like, well, there could be. We could have a minute of silence and it would be fine.
So actually, this I guess would kind of be a new hobby that I did this year that broke my new hobby thing, but it cost me $7. I bought this marimba, and I can play like one line from a song from The Hobbits.
Play the song. Play the song.
Okay, I don't even know how well this is going to turn up. All right, I got to see if I can hear it first. Okay. I don't know how well that came across with my headphones. I can barely even hear it.
It came across perfectly.
So, fun fact. I could also do a line from a Pirates of the Caribbean song, but I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, so I'm sure I can't actually do it right now.
I used to have a whole music book of, it was like James Galway's. He was like the famous flutist who did the flute on the Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was like all of his music, not like photocopied or anything, just like his part. But I lost it and I cannot find a replacement for it.
Oh, no. That's cool, though.
Yeah. Nicole said, my best friend also plays a flute. We met in band. My flute was vintage. My mom claims my dad took it from his high school. It was much nicer than the flutes everyone else had. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Crazy Foxy's fun fact is I trade stocks and closely follow the market and the economy. The obsession has most cannibalized my writing time, but writing will come back soon, I hope. I believe. I think writing always comes back around. I really do.
And the economy's got to simmer down eventually, right?
God, I hope. Andrew said, does everyone know I speak 4 languages? No. Which 4?
And like, to what extent?
Yeah.
Nicole speaks a bit of Italian and has a 2,000 plus day streak on Duolingo.
Whoa.
That is wild. I should ask my dad what his is because I bet you it's somewhere in there for Spanish. There was one week where my dad was like the #1 Spanish learner on the app.
Whoa.
We got him a cake. Made him king of Spanish.
Come back, Andrew. Tell us the languages.
His knowledge is so vast, it takes a minute to type it out.
Yeah. English, Portuguese, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese. Portuguese and Spanish I'm fluent in. I actually translate Spanish most of the day at work. My Chinese is pretty bad, though. Nice. Nicole's guesses were wrong. That's awesome.
That is awesome. German also would have been awesome. Yours are good, too. How long have you actually studied these? And are you actively working on anything, or do you just, I don't know? How did you get into this many languages?
Yeah.
How did this happen to you?
Both of my siblings speak Spanish, and sometimes they'll speak it in front of me, and I feel left out.
Is that why they do it?
That's why they do it. Ugh, so rude. I guess they did earn that. They did learn Spanish.
Yeah. Speaking of German as a language, mostly. So Eurovision is this week, and a friend of mine and I are going to watch it. Not actually together, but together.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very excited because I've watched it once. The year I got my wisdom teeth out because it was right in the same week, and I had to just chill in bed. And it is it's wild.
Yeah.
It is so deeply weird. And it's just the kind of thing, if you're doing it by yourself, it's too weird to like appreciate without like someone else to acknowledge how weird what you're experiencing is. Like, there's one song of the year I watched about like giving a wolf a banana.
Whoa.
And like, I don't know, it's so bizarre to me because like I don't know the process of how each country picks their musical act. Of like, I am sure every single one of these countries has better music to offer than this. So,
Yeah.
and like some of them are good, but like it's just very strange. I don't understand it. And it's just, I don't know. If anyone hasn't experienced Eurovision before, it's coming up this week and it's worth even just like popping over to that side of TikTok or something because it's never going to be quite what you expect it to be.
Okay, Andrew said, I'm accumulating these slowly over time. I started learning Portuguese in elementary school. Spanish I really picked up on the street because Portuguese is similar but less useful in Miami. I don't think I realized you were like all the way down in Miami. Spanish makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of Spanish speakers down there.
So I feel like I knew Andrew was in that area, but I did not realize Andrew was a teacher.
Oh.
But my brain is pretty sporadic about what information it holds on to, so it's probably on me and not anyone else. Although it does help that my husband's best friend was over today watching some hockey, and his name is Andrew, and he is a teacher, so that's why this time my brain went, oh.
It's actually part of being named Andrew is you have to be a teacher.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Do you teach languages? Andrew had clearly not Megan.
It's gotta be kids, right? Because you said kids earlier.
I don't know. You reach a point. I don't know how old Andrew is, but like, I work with a lot of what I refer to as kids at the rock climbing gym.
True.
Like, I don't know. To me, now everyone is just like so many of the kids
school,
I work with. Yeah, a lot of them are 18, and like, I will frequently tell them of like, okay, but like, if we're having a school group or whatever, we need like a real grown up or like an actual adult, not just like a on paper adult. I want a fully developed brain at this event.
Yeah.
And I suspect it's mildly insulting. It just, I don't know. They're kids.
I remember thinking I had it all figured out at 18. And now it's like, no, that's so young.
Yeah. Like, I'll get one of them to do something that I'd wrongly assume anyone would know how to do. And like, I know I didn't know how to do so much stuff at that age. It's like, oh no, I should have thought this through. This is a child. Like after painting a wall, washing the paintbrush, very helpful so that you don't have to then throw out the paintbrush. Not common knowledge, apparently. Andrew teaches one class of elementary school Spanish and spends the rest of the day in the main office.
Oh.
That's very cool.
I wish they taught Spanish at my kids' elementary school. That would be awesome.
This is definitely Canadian bias. I always kind of assumed that like that was a thing, that everyone just kind of learned some Spanish at some point.
You do. I didn't start it till middle school. My son's school has like ASL. But to my knowledge, they don't have any Spanish. Maybe once the kids get older. But I know other elementary schools in the area do teach Spanish.
Okay. Next, we like here we start French in grade 4. And doing French immersion school is also pretty common, but I didn't do it.
Mm. Yeah, my mom really, really, really wanted me to take Spanish in college because I had taken it in high school. And because I was snotty and 18 and didn't want to do anything my mom wanted me to do, I took French instead. And every day I'm like, it would be so much more useful to know Spanish right now. And I've never told her that, but I probably should. She would probably really appreciate hearing that.
You should like do
For
that
Mother's
in
Day.
front. Yeah, but like do it in front of your son so that he sees you having learned that lesson, and then one day, when it is inevitably his turn. Every kid in Canada does learn French. It's just we can drop it after grade 9, so it doesn't stay learned.
Okay.
And then we just read it on cereal boxes for the rest of our lives. As is the Canadian way. Mm-hmm. It's very cool that Andrew has been watching The Word Nerds since he was 18.
Yes. I get we were also a lot younger when we started The Word Nerds.
like how old was Des when Des started watching The Word Nerds?
They were very young, yeah. I was what? I think I was like 22 when we started The Word Nerds. Maybe I was 23. I can't remember. Early 20s.
Yeah.
When we started.
There were only 3 of us with fully developed brains at that point. How far we've come.
Yeah. Now we're old and we can crochet. Could you crochet
for yourself? I don't think so. Can I crochet now is really the question.
You have a shape. That is something.
Well, for the next,
I would not know how to do that.
I have to find the like stuffing that I've been. Did I move it to this house? I don't know. Because I can't actually like turn it into the shape until I have something to like help it keep its shape.
Oh, I didn't even think about that with all the stuffed things. I've kind of been staying away from like the stuffed animals, but I saw a pigeon the other day and I was like, now wait a minute.
I made a couple like bumblebees for the kids. Because they're like pretty straightforward. Like you're not really attaching anything. It's just like one big.
Des has a like no-sew pocket alien pattern on Etsy that every time I'm just window shopping for patterns, that always comes up on my feed and it makes me so happy every time.
I'm just avoiding the tariff and recession conversation in the
Well, I can't believe this, but we actually have been going over an hour.
Oh, geez. How did that happen? Good job. We could start a podcast.
Hell yeah. Look at us go. And I finished up this one. And I did almost all of this one. Don't look at that tattoo. I'm getting it removed. And this one.
That looks awesome. I'm deeply impressed.
Show us your shapes one more time for the road.
I haven't even like finished one. This will eventually be a cube, but it's more than I've done in the last like 6 months. So
it's amazing. Well, we mentioned this kind of offhandedly, and it is in the title of the chat. We are going to be away for 3 weeks on hiatus. We will be back. What day is that? On the 8th. We'll be back on Sunday, the 8th, with a write-in. We hope you all have a good start to your summer, and we'll be on the Discord and stuff still, I'm sure. We'll be around. We'll be accessible, but we will not be doing live streams during that time. It was really good to chat with you all tonight. I had a lot of fun. So thanks for being here. We will see you later. Bye.